Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stephen V. Richardson speaking to you from beautiful San Francisco, California. I welcome each and every one of you from wherever you are calling in from all over the world. I am excited to be on this call, and I welcome you not only to be on this new distribution partner training call, but more importantly, I welcome you to the Organo family. My wife and I have been part of Organo for, wow, almost 11 years now. And I'm always excited when new people decide to join the family and start on their journey. So I welcome you. For those of you who don't know me, once again, my name is Stephen V. Richardson. I live in a place called Tracy, California, but right now I'm recording in San Francisco, California. As I mentioned, I have been part of the Organo family for now 11 years in November. And I'm going to share with you some information about how you can get started properly. I'm going to share with you information about Organo's proven system of success. And I wish that this information was shared with me when I got started. And I really hope that you receive this information and use it to achieve greater things in a shorter period of time than I did. I started off in this business with all transparency, with the wrong mindset. I was a college graduate. I had a successful corporate career. I was doing well in my individual consulting business. And when I came into Organo, I really thought and felt that I had a lot of things going on, and I did in a certain world, but this world is different. And because my attitude was not necessarily humble, I was a good servant. I was smiling, I was positive, but because I was not necessarily a teachable and coachable subject, it took me longer than it should have, and that's why, once again, I really challenge each and every one of you to receive this information and apply it and build a huge business to whatever level that you choose to build it. Now, if you've spoken to me before, I'm going to say something that's going to be repeating myself, but it's worth repeating if you've heard it before, but especially for people who are hearing this for the first time. We talk about something called the OG lifestyle. And what's most important to understand about the OG lifestyle, even though you will hear about it typically on the extremes of what is possible, the living what we call the number one lifestyle in the world, the money and possibly the cars and the trips and the luxury items and all the things you've ever dreamed of with regards to money and a financial situation. That's typically where people start in this industry and even in this company. But OG lifestyle really means whatever you want it to be. Now, most people, while they might say they want a lot, they really aren't willing to put in the effort long enough, consistently enough for it to actually happen. What most people really want in this business, whether it's Organo or another business in a company in our industry, is really just a little bit extra, a little bit more, a little bit better. And hopefully you understand that just an extra $300 to $500 a month consistently, just an extra $500 to $1,000 a month could change most people's lives. It would literally change their lifestyle. So when you're on this type of call with a lot of different type of people, and when you're on bigger calls or attending bigger events, you always have to understand that we're talking to the masses. So you're going to have to translate what we're saying and fit it into what you're looking to get out of Organo. Because it can be whatever you want it to be. Now, if you say you want it to be big and you want it to, let's just say, match and maybe double what you're earning right now in your job or in your business, it's going to require a lot of work. But it doesn't have to be what another person wants for their life. Hopefully that's making sense. What I'm going to share with you is our proven system of success. Now, most people don't understand the system that they really work within. whether it's their own job or their business. But my challenge for you is receive this information and understand that what I'm telling you is not theoretical. I have done this and I have witnessed it with my own experience that this system works. Since 2008, the number of people that we've been able to help all over the world with our proven system of success cannot be disputed. And when people try to do this business on their own, when people try to do this business with their own understanding, with their own original ideas out of the gate, it typically does not go well. So try our system first. As most of you can read right now if you're looking at the screen and have heard before, system stands for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. You don't get extra points and you definitely don't earn extra income by figuring things out on your own. We figured this thing out. And I challenge you to learn our system, to follow our system. And once you've done that, by all means, add whatever secret sauce you'd like to add. But our system works, and I'm going to share with you our 4-step system, our 4-component system, that when you apply it consistently, it will help you achieve your dreams and goals. Because here's what you do not want. You don't want this business to be you dependent. Right now, most people's income is you dependent. When you go to work, you get paid. When you see a client get paid, maybe you sell a house, get paid, see a client or do something transactional, punch in, punch out, you get paid. But when you're not doing those things, you're not getting paid. When you have a business that is system dependent, you can plug people into the system and you can continue on with your life. That is why systems exist, and that is why I'm challenging you up front to learn our system and to execute our system. What has this system been able to achieve? Well, since 2008, when we were established, we are operating legally and fully supported in over 30 countries. We're close to 40, actually. We've generated over $2 billion of cumulative sales, and we have 2 million plus points of distribution in the form of independent distribution partners and customers spread out all over the world. That's what our system, the one I'm going to share with you, has been able to achieve. Now, I'm going to share more information than I really want to, but I want this to be comprehensive. Yeah, we can give you just a real short, this is what you need to do, boom, 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 but that's not what this is call about. This call is for the people who want to hear it all, but not more than they need to hear. So whether it's the information you can receive on this call, or whether it's the information you can receive over the upcoming days and weeks and months and years, there is a main thing that you must always remember and focus on. And as you know, the main thing is to keep the main thing in the main thing. So what's the main thing? The main thing is this. The success of your Organo business will depend on your organization's willingness and ability to properly expose enough people, enough times in a short enough period of time, period. I wish I could end tonight's training right here, but I have to continue. But I really want you to understand this is the foundation of everything. It's very easy, and I'm talking from experience, it's very easy to be doing a lot of things, thinking you're busy, thinking you're productive, but you're not focusing on the main thing. And the main thing is properly exposing enough people, enough times in a short period of time. There'll be so many things that I share with you tonight that I want to elaborate on, but I just don't have the time, or we could be here for hours. So I'm just going to give you the main part. There are other trainings available, and really one of the main takeaways is after this call, get back to the person who is your success coach. Your success coach is not always the person who sponsors you, by the way. Because if they've just gotten in the business and if they're running like you are, they don't really know that much. So allow the system, once again, allow the system to work for you by introducing them to us and get back to that person so that now that you have this information and you want to ask specific questions or you want to go into more detail, or maybe you just go and plug in and find the training in this particular area, you can do that. So we move on. What is a proper exposure? I won't go into great detail, but a proper exposure includes you making a genuine connection with another human being. By the nature of who you are, by making it all the way to this call, I have to imagine that you have interactions, probably conversations with people every single day. People who you've known for your entire life, people who you just met, a few minutes ago. You have the ability to have a conversation. That's all you need to do. Make a connection with another human being. Build some relationship of credibility and trust by the question that you ask, and we'll teach you how to do all these things, but you're probably doing most of them already. By the nature of the questions that you ask, understand what they are looking to achieve, and then ask them if they're open to receiving some information on how the Organo opportunity might be able to help them achieve that. If it's a business building conversation, if it's a product conversation, then maybe you just ask them if they drink coffee or tea at least occasionally, or if they know anybody who might want to shed some unwanted pounds, or maybe they know somebody who likes to travel from time to time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple. You don't need the details of the business, the details of the product, and how much is in this, and where did this come from, and why is that. Don't worry about any of that. The people who typically are the most successful in Organo and in this type of business are the people who have a burning desire for better and more and success, and the people who allow the system to have these conversations and answer these questions on their behalf. They're not the ones who know all the information. I dare you to embrace your lack of knowledge. Some people call it ignorance, but they take offense to that. So we often call it ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Embrace that you don't know, and just allow experiences and stories and your business partner, the system, to do what it can do. There are three things I want you to always remember with regard to this business. And most of what we share with you, including this, can be applied to other parts of your life, personal and professional. Three things to remember. Proper exposure is everything. The fortune's in the follow-up, and we work with the willing. Proper exposure is everything. If people don't know who you are, how you've helped others with regards to Organo, and now that you're part of the Organo family, everything that we've done, you can say you've done because your company, your business partners have done it. So if people understand who we are Organo. If people understand who we are, how we helped others, and how we might be able to help them, they might allow us to do so. But you can only do that through proper exposure to you, to our company, to our leadership, to your success coach, to our system. That's how you do it, drip by drip by drip. The fortune is in the follow-up. If you happen to ever be looking for the fortune and you've properly exposed, guess where the fortune is? In the follow-up. Guess what most people do? They don't follow up. Actually, most people don't even expose in the first place. But those who do don't properly follow up. So the fortune is in the follow-up. And work with the willing simply means we don't chase, we don't beg, we don't convince. All we do is care and share. And those who allow us to help them, we do. And those who don't, we love them and we keep on moving. 4 components of our success, of our system that has created the results that I share with you. Just 4. One of them is find the organo products and services that you love. Many people call this step be a product of the product. So I'll give you the components first, and I'll go back and talk about them in detail. 4 components. Find the organo products and services that you love. Start creating your list and keep building it. Schedule your business and plug into our proven system. That's all. So fall in love with the organo products and services. You don't have to love everything, but it would help if you had a personal experience and connection with what we do provide. That's why our product packs have a varied selection. It's really just to get you to sample the products. And as you know, the way our compensation plan works, depending on how much product you are willing and able to get into the marketplace at least once, we will compensate you anywhere from 10% to 20% in a dual team commission, anywhere from $500 a week to $2,500 per week as an earning potential, just by you being willing to get that much product into the marketplace once. Why is this step so important? Why do I cover it first? I cover being product of the product first because it is the rock solid foundation of your long-term residual income. Now, why is that? Because when you can develop an emotional connection to the product outside of the compensation plan, that means no matter what happens, you will probably continue to consume the organo products for a very long time. And when you do it, the people who become part of your organization as distribution partners and customers, they'll do the same thing. And I'm going to tell you something that hopefully you know, but if you don't, you will in a minute. Most people who become part of your organo business, your personal organization, most of them eventually will quit. And guess what? That's okay. Well, if the organo opportunity is so great, why will most people quit? Well, most people quit because most people quit most things. Most people quit whatever educational path they're on. Most people quit jobs. Most people quit relationships. Most people quit their exercise or health programs. Most people quit most things. So guess what they do with this? They'll quit eventually. Some are going to quit right away. But guess what? That's okay. Why? Because that's something you have no control over. You might have a little bit of influence, but you don't have any control over. But if and when you, everything starts with you, have an emotional connection to the product outside of the compensation plan, when someone decides for a short term or maybe forever to no longer actively work the business, guess what they'll continue to do for a long time, possibly forever? They will be your customer forever, for as long as they continue to consume their product. Literally my very first distribution partner, the first person I sponsored, almost 11 years ago, she hasn't actively worked the business for 10 and a half years. We'll be kind. 10 years. But guess what? We're still friends. She still loves and benefits from the product. And she's been one of my most loyal customer for 11 years. That equals residual income. When somebody has something that they're consuming, especially already, and they like it and they're benefiting from it, and all of their emotional connection is positive, you treat them properly, you love them where they are, you allow them to stop working the business if that's what they want to do, but you keep on moving. It's a beautiful thing. So be a product of the product. And there's some type of connection that you already have, even if you just joined today and you just heard about Organo for the first time yesterday. Maybe you like the taste, Maybe it gave you some energy. Maybe it helped you do something this. Maybe it helped in a certain area. I don't know. All I know is you already consume one of the products already, and there's a reason, and that reason is going to continue to grow. But in the meantime, part of the system, if you're paying attention, part of the system is you actually writing down in an email or a text. Let's do an email. In an email to your sponsor, to your success coach, if it's somebody separate, and to Organo. Support at organogold.com. Support at organogold.com. Write your testimony. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be eloquent, doesn't have to be grammatically or anything. Just, I like or love Organo because. This is my own personal testimony. And watch that continue to grow. And as you do it and appreciate it, and as you help others do the same thing, your residual income will grow and grow and grow. And for the record, I'm showing you a picture that some of you may not even have realized all of the products and services that we do. And guess what? That's okay. Somebody might have just given you a sample of coffee, had some conversations, invited you to a call or watch a video. You might have talked to someone like me on a conversation, answer your questions, decide to get started, and all you knew about Organo was our gourmet beverages. Didn't even realize we had meal replacement shakes. Didn't realize we had all natural skincare. Didn't realize we have a groundbreaking cognitive program that just launched a new industry. Didn't realize that we have a travel packet. Didn't realize we have mobile solutions. You don't need to know all of them in detail. You don't even have to be an active consumer of all of them. It would help if you sampled them, found which ones you liked, and stayed in your lane. But when you know all of what we do, when you're properly connecting and having conversations with people, you never know. Maybe you love the beverages, but they're interested in skincare. Maybe you love the weight loss and they're interested in travel. As long as you're able to connect with somebody and properly connect them with the information and with us who can have those conversations properly, you can build a huge business taking advantage of all of our products and services. Try not to limit your business to just your own personal likes and dislikes. It's not the way to build a business. That's the first part. Become a product of the product. The second component, build your list. Start building your list. And you'll start it and you'll continue building your list forever. When you have a traditional business, it's required a lot of capital to get started, whether it's buildings, supplies, inventory, personnel, websites, business plans, this and that. You're required to have a lot of capital just to get started. In this business, your number one capital is your list. Who you know, and more importantly, who you are willing to meet and attract into your world. Your list should only be as big and as long as your dreams and goals. When you're making your list, do not judge negatively. Don't worry about what somebody did or didn't do, say or didn't say, where they might be in their mind. The only people you do not include on your list are people who you just absolutely do not want to be associated with. But even those people, if you were hungry enough and realized the potential and understood who they might possibly know and be willing to connect you with, you'd put them down there too. But don't worry about what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, how it's going to, don't worry about any of that stuff. Just build a list. And my strongest recommendation, I'll say a few things, and in passing, you can take a hint that they're a recommendation. And some things I don't want you to miss. So it is my strongest recommendation that you make a list of at least 100 people. But this is going to depend, this is really your first test on how badly you really want what you told your sponsor and your success coach, how badly you really want those things. Are you willing to sit down and carve out 30 minutes, an hour, a couple of hours, the rest of your life here and there to build and continue to build your list, because that is your capital? Because remember the main thing, proper exposure is what's going to determine your business. Your willingness and ability to properly expose enough people enough times in a short period of time to identify those few people who will allow us to help them. Because exposure is everything, and you can't expose people if they're not on your list. So write a list, and this is old school time. On a piece, it'll eventually get digital, and you'll put it in your computer and on your phone, and we have a great tool called Rapid Funnel I'll talk about in just a minute. But initially, in the beginning, old school, on a piece of paper, names and numbers, names and numbers. If you don't have their number, just put their name down so you'll remember them, and you'll find some type of contact information. That's how this thing works. Just put it down. Make a list. And if you're serious, you'll have a list of at least 100 within 24 hours. And then when you're listed, don't start calling people. Don't start contacting them. Don't tell them about this opportunity and you're going to get rich, or they want to try this product because it's amazing. Once you complete your list, get back to your success coach and say, Coach, I got my list. Now what do I do? That is the teachable and coachable person who will be the most successful. Start your list. I'm going to spend a little more time on the list part of the 4 components because it's so important to the kickoff, the launch of your business. So much of this business is mental, is psychology. Understand going in what the numbers are, what the odds are, what most people will do, and what most people won't do. Guess what most people won't do? Most people won't want to be a part of your business. Most people will not be your customer long term, or maybe even once. That's what but guess what? That's okay, because there are enough people out there who will want to try your product and become your customer. There are enough people out there who are serious enough about their dreams and goals and understand the value of the Organo opportunity. You have more than enough. So just understand, I was talking to somebody yesterday to really help them understand the concept. And the concept was, it's kind of hard these days because it doesn't happen, I don't think, at all now, but even recently. If you're on an airplane back in the day, the flight attendants used to have a tray. And on the tray used to be coffee and water. And they'd already prepare it. And they'd talk to every single person. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some coffee? Would you like some water? Would you like some water? And they smiled. They went to each person, and some people said yes, some people said no. And the answer did nothing emotionally to the flight attendant because they realized that some will and some won't, and that's okay. So that's the mindset you have to have going into this. We have a saying in this industry, in this business, in this company. Those people who you think will, won't. Those people who you think won't, will. It's not your responsibility to understand who is going to get this, who's going to accept it, and who's going to run with you. But it's your responsibility to put those names on a piece of paper and reach out to them properly when the time is right. But the first step, make your list. It's always good to understand who you're looking for in order to attract them and to find them. So who are we looking for? What type of people are the most successful in this business typically? There's something called a forward checker. A forward checker is somebody who's a go-getter. They are self-motivated. They have initiative. That's the person that you want. You know the kind of person. The person doesn't wait to be asked. They're the ones who will look it up. They're the ones who will just do it. They're the ones who don't wait around. Those type of people. If you're thinking about somebody, write their name down right now before it pops back out. You're looking for people who have a center of influence. This doesn't mean that they're necessarily successful or rich or have any official titles. It just means if they were going to throw a birthday party or a Super Bowl party or a quinceañera or some type of gathering, Or if they said, hey, there's something I want you to try, they'd try it. That person is a center of influence. Sometimes it's a soccer mom, it's a beautician, it's a realtor, it's a pastor, it's just a regular person, but they just have that quality where people like them and they trust them and they'd be willing just to take a look at what they recommend. Teachable and coachable. That really just means that you have a humble spirit, that you don't think you know everything. Kind of like I was in the beginning. Not teachable and coachable, the other side. People who would come into something like this and on the first day say something like, I have an idea. How about you hold the idea just for a minute and allow us to share you a proven system of success that generated over $2 billion in the last decade. Teachable and coachable. You don't necessarily have to agree or even understand with what your success coach is saying, especially when that success coach does not get paid or compensated unless you are successful. That's the best type of advice to receive. Some people say you shouldn't get advice from people you don't pay, but it's even better if you accept advice from people who only get paid if the advice works. That's this situation. So you're looking for people who have a humble spirit, who respect expertise and excellence, no matter where the voice is coming from, how young they are, what they look like, any of that stuff. If they've achieved the results and they're willing to share with you what the secret sauce is, are you willing to run the play? We're looking for people who are teachable and coachable. And we're looking for people who are able to get started financially. Definitely don't have to have a lot of money, but they have to have a little. So those are the 4 checkers. There's something called a 5-pointer. This is more demographic. And what I'm going through right now is just to soften the soil and get you to start to think about people. 5 pointers. Once again, typically people who are the most successful long-term, people who are married, people who have homes, not really a home, they have a mortgage, people who have children, 25 years or older, $50,000 or so of income. In other words, people who have responsibility, people who have obligations, people have to worry about education and college and weddings, people who are somewhat mature, people have a little bit of money coming in, but not enough. Those people. So think about those 4 checkers and 5 pointers. And once again, even if someone's just a one checker or no checker, you still put their names down. But once you get your initial list done, the first thing we'll teach you to do is to prioritize those lists so we can talk to the right people in the right order. When you do your list properly, your list will be so big that you literally will not be able to contact everybody. But it won't be because you were afraid or you weren't doing the work. Now, I won't go through these 2 lists. In your resources, I don't think it's in the back office anymore. I think it's in OG Academy. There's something called a list builder. And basically just reminds you of the people who you know. And once again, it doesn't matter if you haven't talked to them for a while, doesn't matter if you're not really close. Oftentimes those people are more likely to be open anyway. And just for the record, the list that you're looking at right now, these aren't people, these are categories. So for every category, whether it's neighbors or family members or nurses or part-time workers or pastors, these are groups of people, people who you trust. These are groups of people who you know and possibly support right now who would be going on your list. Build your list. I'm not even going to go through this. What you're really looking for at the end of the day, we want to have people receive the information that we share with them with an open mind and an open heart. Because while this business is mostly psychology and emotion, life and business is all about timing. And we have to get on people's radar because we never know what's going on in somebody's life, and we never know when they're looking, whether they're doing something else already or whether we think they are doing extremely well. You never know what obligations they have, what health challenges they have, who they're responsible for, what's really going on in work and business. You never know. but we're looking for people with an open mind and an open heart. I mentioned this briefly, and I want to put this back on your radar. When you're building this list, where would those names go eventually? Something called Rapid Funnel. There is a there's a free app. We have a partnership with a company called Rapid Funnel. It is the leading, if I'm not mistaken, the leading company in this area of basically tracking all of your activity. So this is the fortune and the follow-up piece. So after this call, you'll go to the App Store or wherever you get your apps, and you'll download Rapid Funnel. And this is what you will use. We'll teach you how to use it. There are tutorials. Any questions you want to have answered, you can get from support.rapidfunnel.com. But this is what you'll use to track all your activities. And we also have some really cool contests going on that will, let's just say, give you even more incentive to properly do your business. So Rapid Funnel. I'm just going to cover this very briefly to keep things short. Once again, understanding people's psychology and where they are from a mindset standpoint. Most people who you interact with will either not understand our business model, or they think they understand it and it's completely wrong. So once again, that's why it's so important. Once you make that connection, that human connection with somebody, introduce them to us, especially in the beginning, so that we can have these conversations properly. Because when you look at this industry, it goes by so many names. I don't know any industry that goes by so many different names. Direct selling, online business, home-based business, direct consumer, network marketing, some that are flattering, some that aren't. Think of it as word of mouth marketing. If you really asked anybody, which would they trust more? A recommendation from someone who they liked and trusted, or from a complete stranger who was just trying to sell them something, or an ad? It's always someone who they trust. Word of mouth marketing is the most powerful type of marketing and business out there. That's why every company on the planet uses it in some way. We just use it in the best way, which is not only to make you feel better, but we compensate you for it. So word of mouth marketing, just understand what people will think about your business. What interesting thing that you'll find out right away, if you haven't yet, is the reasons why people will do this business are the same reasons why others use not to do the business. It's a very interesting irony. They'll think that they don't have enough money, even though you've already seen from your own experience that it just basically costs $50 to get started. And to have your business, you can grow into it and you can sell your way in. But people will do this business because they want more money, and people won't do this business because they think they need more money. It's not true. Time. People may have money, but they don't have time. They may have time, but they want more time, quality time with the people who they care about, the people who they're working for all these days. And they want more than just the weekend, or more than just a couple of weeks out of an entire year. So people will start this business because they want more time, but they won't start the business because they don't think they have enough time. One thing your success coach will do much better than you probably is to be able to teach you first, and teach people who you're introducing to this opportunity how you can build this business during the normal course of your day around your existing schedule. There are enough hours in a week to build a profitable Organo business. You just have to allow us to teach you. So the reason that most people use that they don't have enough time just doesn't work when they have a conversation and they receive the information with an open mind and open heart. Some people want to develop skills or into personal development. They want to learn more skills to be better people, to be happier, to build other businesses. And other people think they need skills but don't have the ones necessary to be successful. You're not supposed to be able to know everything and do everything when you join, or especially before you become part of it. That's what the system is for. That's what the leaders are for. We will teach you. And then one of those things, people who are on this call were probably looking for, one of those things, meaning something different than just a job, just only a job, are just the limitations of what a traditional job or a traditional business will give you. While other people will be afraid that this is just one of those things, not realizing they're probably already in it, but on the wrong side. When you are having conversations with people initially, and all you want to do is connect them, first of all, make a connection with them, but connect them with the product and connect them with the opportunity when it's appropriate. The best invitation that you can give, especially now, but moving forward, is simply your story. You don't need to know the details, the ingredients, the history of this ingredient or that product or this, that. You don't need any of that. All you need is to share your story. You know your story. Why are you here? Why did you become part of Organo? What are you looking to achieve in your life? Why are you sharing with them? Why and how are you benefiting from the Organo products? And you share that, and you said, this is what I'm getting from it. I don't know if it'll help you. I was just thinking about you. I wanted to give you a try. Would you be open to trying my coffee and telling me how it tastes, how it makes you feel? Would you be open to at least get enough information to make an educated decision to see if it's something that you might want to be a part of someday, or maybe you knew somebody who you introduce it to us? That's all you have to do, is share your story. Keep this simple. Don't complicate success. So what have we talked about so far? Being a product of the product, which once again just means finding the Organo products that you love. Building your list, which is the capital for building your successful business. The third component, schedule your business. Successful professionals live by their calendars. And regardless of how busy you are, we can teach you how to, one, build this business during the normal course of your day around your existing schedule. And if you want to achieve what you say you want to achieve, you should be able to carve out 12 to 15 hours over an entire 7-day week. The most important part of your calendar is really not even how much you're putting in, it's that you're doing it consistently. And my second strongest recommendation is that you do it as regularly as possible, even if it's just for an hour or two. But on your calendar, preferably 3 to 4 times per week, put on your schedule when you are going to be building your Organo business. And what would you be doing during those 12 to 15 hours? Well, you're going to have to expose people to the opportunity if you want to build the business. And with technology now, and especially during these times, we're not doing a lot of face-to-face or definitely not group meetings. And that means that you can rely on the system, once again, by getting people to watch videos and to hop on webinars and to be able to do things online. But just from a planning standpoint, block out 4 hours for an entire week to show the plan. And each time that you are showing the opportunity, having that conversation, it really shouldn't take more than an hour at the most to do it. And if you're doing it 4 times a week, that is a nice, consistent activity that you can sustain for a long period of time. It can move and flow with your personal schedule and what comes up, but really try to have 4 days a week. So 4 hours, you're sharing the opportunity, you're showing the plan. 4 hours, you're inviting to whatever you're going to be doing as far as events. Maybe you're inviting people to a company call. Maybe you're inviting them to have a conversation with someone like myself. Maybe you're inviting them to hop onto a webinar. But if you want guests at an event, regardless of what the event is, you have to carve out specific time to do the inviting. So that's 4 hours in an entire week. if you want to have some retail customers, and take my word for it, you want to have some retail customers, you want to spend some time, invest some time in actually sending out some texts, some messages, having some conversations, and asking people if they'll try your product, if they'll buy some product. So even if it's just an hour a week, completely prepared, focused, uninterrupted, you can generate some significant results by doing it just an hour a week. And of course, you can do it more, but at least an hour a week selling some product. Plugging into the system at least 2 weeks. Maybe it's on a call, maybe it's a meeting, and then for an hour of personal development. That is 4, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. Most people who work this business, even though they're pretending to do it full time, are really just doing it part time. This industry and this business was created to do part time. There are some people who are knocking it out of the park and who are doing this thing full time, but even those people are really actually putting in only about 12 to 15 hours of productive time building a business. So you do not need a lot of time to build your Organo business. Fourth component, I've already talked about it several times, the system. The system is the support that we have available that you can just plug into and plug your people into and allow it to do what it's been doing all these years. I won't go through each of one of these in detail, but we have weekly calls, whether it's from our chairman and our chairman, Mr. Caldwell, Mr. Paul Caldwell. We have a success call that happens Sunday evening in North America. We have the websites. We have OG Academy, which is our training site, ogacademy.com. The login for that is the same as in your back office. We have a blog. We have other things, live presentations in English and Spanish and other languages happening every single day. Facebook pages, all of these. But once again, don't get distracted with all of this information, all these resources, all these directions. Remember the main thing, properly exposing enough people, enough times in a short enough period of time to identify those few who allow us to help them. All this other stuff, as I was telling somebody earlier this week, we have more meetings and more calls and more resources and more events than any sane person would want to or need to attend. Maybe you're crazy like me and you'll do it, but it's not necessary to build a profitable business. Don't let the amount of information that we have available for you to overwhelm you. Work closely with your success partner, which is the other piece of the system. I think this is my third strong recommendation, and that is to develop and maintain a close relationship and communication with your success coach. For the record, this might not be your sponsor. If your sponsor is brand new, if your sponsor is still figuring things out, they might not be the person to coach you to success, but there is always somebody above them, somebody who has been in this longer, who has more success, who is willing and able to help you. That's the person you should get your business building recommendations from. And if you sponsor somebody, let your ego out of the way and allow the senior business partners and the system to help them. You will benefit more than anybody. The system. Now, once again, getting back to one of the first things I talked about with the OG lifestyle, this can be whatever you want it to be. Some people just want a little bit of extra income. Some people just want to get their coffee at the wholesale cost. That's okay. We love you forever. But some people see this for what it is and want to build this big. And for those people, Mr. Caldwell has put together something called a global growth bonus. Now, you have to be special. You have to be rock and rolling. You have to be coming full guns a-blazing, coming out at 150 miles an hour. You have to be serious, because for the first 5 weeks, and then 5 weeks after that, and 5 weeks after that, if you do what you can do and follow our system and expose enough people properly and get the people into the business, you can qualify for 3 separate growth bonuses. The first bonus, in addition, above and beyond what you're earning in the compensation plan, the first bonus is an extra $2,500. The second bonus is for $3,000. The third bonus is for $3,500. Refer to your back office or to your success coach to get the details, but just know that that combined with your normal compensation, when you're hitting those numbers, you'll be well over $10,000. That's a great place to start, and you will be doing it the right way, building a rock solid foundation for long-term success. So for those who, this is not for everybody. It can be, it should be, but only a few of you probably, typically 1 or 2 on a call like this, see that it's possible, want it, and are willing to put in the work necessary. We've had people in many countries, including this one, hit those bonuses. I wish we had those when I started. We didn't. All right, wrapping up. It's very important for you to understand the value of Organo, the value of our system. So I'm going to remind you just real quickly. And this is not necessarily for you to share with other people. This is for you. This is for your armor. This is for what you need when you have to pick up that phone and have people tell you that this is not what they want, that they'll never do it, try to talk you out of it. You need to understand where you are and what you're a part of and where you're going. When you start a traditional business or franchise, it costs a lot of money up front, a huge investment. Tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars just to get started. You know that, right? So what did you get for your Organo investment? Whatever it was, you got access immediately to millions and millions of dollars of inventory strategically placed in our warehouses all over the world. You have access to that, and you can sell it at any time and not have to put any money up front. All you would do would be receiving your retail profit. That is a huge value. This picture is one of the warehouses in Vancouver, by the way. You have multiple world-class websites and IT support to keep them up and running 24 hours a day, where someone anywhere in the world, anywhere in our almost 40 countries, can go on a website, access the information in their language, pay in their currency. We ship the product directly to them, and you get the profit while you don't have to touch anything. All you have to do is put them on your list and maybe send them a sample and invite them to try it. And Organo does the rest. We have a world-class retail-only site. Most people won't want to build a business. Most people won't even want to get it at a wholesale cost. They just want to get it at full retail. Send them to your site. They won't even know that this is a direct selling company. You have a separate site just for that. You also have a world-class back office that tracks all of the activity, all the people purchasing product, all the people in your organization. It includes the resources and documents, and all that you need is in your back office, and we give it to you for just your initial investment. And then you get someone like me. Maybe it's me if you're on this call, or if you're part of my organization. Oh, if you're in Organo, you're part of my family, so I'll help you. But you have somebody who's been in the trenches, who understands the system, who has achieved what you want to achieve, and who's willing to teach you everything and walk you through this step by step. What is the value of that? Now, most of you, actually all of you, got started with the distributor kit because that's how you get started. $49.95 gives you all of that. Literally millions and millions of dollars of value. But here's what I know. People on this call got in at different levels for various reasons. All of them valid, I'm sure. It should be your ultimate goal to upgrade to the gold pack if you do not get into the gold pack like I did. I came at the highest level. Why? Because it paid the most, 20% in the dual team, $2,500 a week earning potential right out the gate. But also, it provided me enough product to not only sample it, but also to get enough product into the marketplace to launch my business as opposed to just start it. So some of you might even just be in at the $49.95, and all you really have is the website, which is powerful, but you don't qualify for all the commission, and you don't have enough product to do anything. You just have a handful of samples. You really need enough product to sample it yourself, to share with some people, and to sell some. So really understand the potential, and how you start your business is typically how it continues. So start your business properly and work with your success coach to profitably upgrade to the gold pack as quickly as possible. So what have we talked about? We've talked about the main thing. If you forget everything else, remember this: the success of your business will depend on your organization's willingness and ability to properly expose enough people, enough times, in a short enough period of time. Exposure is everything. Proper exposure is everything. The fortune's in the follow-up. Use tools like Rapid Funnel to do that. And we work with the willing. We don't force, we don't chase, we don't trick. We care, we share, and we work with those who allow us to help them, and we keep on moving. We have 4 components of our proven system of success. Component number 1, we have an emotional connection to the product outside of the compensation plan. We find the Organo products and services that we love. In other words, we become a product of the product. We build our list without negative judgment, without worrying or thinking about what we're going to say or when we're going to say it or any of those things. We just write it and keep writing and writing and writing. And then we get back to our success coach and say, Coach, I got my list. Now what do I do? We'll help you prioritize it, and we'll coach you and maybe even contact some people on your behalf so that they can get the information and we can start building your organization. Because the goal is initially to help you get 2 distributors right away. We'll put one on the left and one on the right. You have 2 organizations. You have a left organization and a right organization. Once you get your 2 distributors who've gotten product packs, now you are dual team qualified and you can earn commission. And then we start duplicating that process below you. And when it works, it works. And then you have 2. We help those 2 get their 2. Then you have 4, and then 8 and 16 and 32, and it can go on and on and on. That's where it begins. But it all starts with your list. Use the memory jogger and write your list. Schedule your business. On a calendar, write which days. There's a separate training for calendar training. Sounds obvious, but there's a specific training to really help you understand why and how to do this properly. But for right now, the goal is 4 times a week. The goal is 12 to 15 hours a day. And the recommendation is communicate with your success coach and allow them to teach you how to do this so you can do it consistently. And the final piece, plug in to our proven system of success, making sure that you are on the Sunday calls, hopefully live, but at least listen to the recording, and that you listen to Mr. Caldwell's CEO update, chairman update, and you get on the OG Academy and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and just, you will be fed as much as you want to receive. You will never be able to blame the system or Organo for your lack of success. It's refreshing that the only person I have to blame is the person in the mirror. That gives you complete control of your success. And then stay in communication with your success coach. I almost didn't include this slide. I just created it really for myself. And I'm not going to read it all. But once again, I'm sharing with you information and I'm sharing with you perspectives that I wish I had received 11 years ago. It would have made my path more enjoyable. I would have expected what happened with regards to people who were closest to me, people who I cared about, people who I did a lot of things for who did not want to support me one bit. Are people who started and stopped, or the amount of work that was really necessary, or what was going to happen, or how to deal with this. This is a question that I've always wanted to ask people who get started. When are you going to quit? You just joined. You're all excited. You have all these dreams and goals. When are you going to quit? Are you going to quit when someone says no? Are you going to quit when it gets hard? Are you going to quit when someone who joined your business decides not to do it? Are you going to quit when life gets tough? When something happens with somebody's health or somebody's situation? When are you going to quit? Hopefully the answer is that your dreams and goals are bigger and more important than any challenge that life can throw at you, and that you are committed to the vision of what you want the OG lifestyle to be. And you're willing to put in the work long enough, hard enough for this to happen. I am so happy and grateful that somebody introduced me to Organo. He's not doing the business anymore, by the way. He was one of the early people to leave. He was a complete stranger before I met him. And if it wasn't for him, my life would not be the same, and I would not have been able to help the so many people in so many countries all over the world. And I challenge you. As a matter of fact, I dare you. I dare you to be diamond, to speak like a diamond, to think like a diamond, to believe like a diamond, to sacrifice like a diamond, to walk like a diamond, to behave like a diamond. Even if you don't know what that means, you just know because that is the goal. And it's going to happen in your heart and in your mind before it happens in the physical. I dare you to be diamond and see how your life improves and how many people that you'll be able to help. I am happy and grateful to have been on this call. I'm happy and grateful for our chairman, Mr. Paul Caldwell, for our original CEO and founder, Mr. Bernard Chua, and his amazing wife, Adeline, and their daughter, Shella, and the people at the corporate office who support me and who love me and who have been there for me. And I'm so excited for those of you who will go on this journey with us and achieve what you were destined to achieve. We are Organo. I love you. I believe in you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Let's get this thing done.